I suppose the challenges for women writers are the same that they've ever been. Being appreciated for the beauty and multiplicity of our voices, and I hope Vita has helped that, and I think there are other people and organizations that have worked really hard to let people know that there are so many pleasures to be found in reading outside of your own experience, which is something women were trained to do from a very early age, and people of color and queer people. So I feel like this is an opportunity for everyone to discover that there's all kinds of literature out there, and hopefully Vita did something to help that. Yeah, but I think the landscape is better than it was, but there's still work to do, and so I'll keep working on it. That's a really good question. My son Jude and I discuss this a lot. A lot of it is predicated on whether or not you're allowed to bring penicillin, because that would really change a lot of outcomes for wherever you traveled in time. And also, traveling as a woman in time could be a little complicated. But I think if I got to pick, I'm also kind of a Tudor history nerd, and I was a Tudor history nerd before it was cool to be a Tudor history nerd. And I'd be really interested in going to, I'd be really interested in meeting Henry VIII, like from a distance. But I'd also be really interested in meeting Henry II and Eleanor of Aquitaine. Eleanor of Aquitaine is probably my favorite female historical figure who rode bare-breasted alongside Henry II into the First Crusade, who was the power broker for all of Europe, and just a fascinating character. So if I could go back in the TARDIS, I would want to run into Eleanor of Aquitaine in the 12th century. Well, it's nice of you to think of me as a guru. I don't know that I do anything particularly special other than pay attention to the poems. I think years of being an editor probably had something to do with it. And when I worked at Agni magazine, I think my number one tip would be, and this is true of me and this is true of everyone, is that we have to be honest with ourselves about what the cliches are in our poems. Not just cliches in language, but cliches in thought, particularly cliches in structure. I think when we address that in our poems and see those things as the placeholders that they are, it gives us the opportunity for actual invention, and for the whole idea of re-visioning, genuinely re-seeing something. And I hold myself to that standard, and I hope it's helpful that I hold my students to that standard.